How are you?
Good, good, good. What's going on?
Good to see you.
Always. Thanks.
Appreciate
Appreciate it.
Your abs have abs.
So we all on the same one?
Yeah.
The fight would be in the pump.
Heated. That's the only way to explain what transpired between Canelo Alvarez and Terence "Bud" Crawford. What started off as a simple stare-down escalated into a heated exchange that almost broke out into a full-on fight. Security appeared tense, the crowd was in disbelief, and fans all over the world are still talking about it. This is going to be a great one, so make sure to subscribe and like it. And I have to pose this question again. Are we going to see one of the most exciting fight weeks in boxing history? This was no ordinary news conference. This was the first official bout of Bout Week, and it was held at Allegiant Stadium in the center of Las Vegas. The main event between these two heavyweight fighters is scheduled for Saturday, September 13th. And the excitement is already erupting as over 70,000 fans are anticipated. This is the twist, though, that has fans debating endlessly with the alleged vast disparity in size. Everyone has been saying that Crawford is going up from welterweight into dangerous territory, and that Canelo is too big and strong.
Well, he seems to be prepared and ready for it, and yes, there is that danger. Look at what happened when Canelo moved up in weight against Beeble. So, there's a lot of examples, and there's examples the other way as well. So, it's hard to predict what is going to happen in a fight. That is why they fight. So for anybody to say they have a crystal ball and they know, I suggest they go down the hall here, because if they know it now, they'll end up leaving a heck of a lot more money in their pocket, and they'll be able to have that reading from that crystal ball. So nobody knows until they fight. Everybody has a plan, like Mike Tyson said, until they get punched in the mouth. So we'll see what happens.
However, the tale was more complicated when the images from that intense altercation surfaced. Size has been the main focus of the media hoopla from the beginning. The claim that Crawford would be intimidated by the raw power of Canelo Alvarez, the current super middleweight champion. It made sense on paper. Crawford has remained at 147 pounds for almost his whole career, while Canelo has been stuck at 168 pounds for 5 years. However, many were stunned by the reality when they faced each other in Vegas. Canelo is 5 feet 7 inches with a 70-inch reach, while Crawford is 5 feet 8 inches with a 74-inch reach. People didn't exactly anticipating a mountain of a man. In fact, Crawford appears somewhat taller in the pictures if you examine them attentively. This is where things start to get messy. Crawford was spotted by fans wearing Balenciaga platform sneakers, which are known to add a few inches. Canelo flats in the meantime. Social media was enraged by the small detail about the shoes. People began discussing right once whether Crawford was attempting to convey a message or if it was just fashion. In any case, the ostensibly enormous size disparity disappeared in an instant. Not to mention that Canelo weighed 147 pounds when he began his career, the precise segment that Crawford controlled. Yes, he is a broad-shouldered, stocky fighter, but the key question is that he is not a giant. Will size even matter in this situation? However, fans are debating more than just size. The tension between the two boxers was evident as the cameras flashed and the sound of spectators reverberated around Allegiant Stadium. A wicked grin appeared on Crawford's face as they met eyes, seemingly to convey the message, "I'm not intimidated." Canelo stared back at him, unflinching and stone-faced. Words became heated from whispers. For a brief moment, it appeared as though the news conference would degenerate into mayhem as members of both sides began to move closer. Security moved cautiously forward, prepared to step in if even one hand was raised. The audience erupted as they realized how genuine the hostility between these two had grown. At that point, the story began to spread widely. Boxing Twitter went into a frenzy in a matter of hours. Like wildfire, rumors proliferate. Crawford is hurt. Crawford is in a bad mood. He appeared slower than normal. Critics and admirers descended in an attempt to analyze each and every action made throughout the confrontation. Crawford would have none of it.
Where I got a shoulder, I think people coming up with their own, antics. Terence Crawford got a shoulder injury, Terence Crawford out of shade, Terence Crawford slow, Terence Crawford. Yeah, they coming up with all kinds of stuff.
He dismissed the rumors in an interview. "I'm not sure where I sustained my shoulder injury. People are merely making things up." He ignored the conversation as nothing more than background chatter from individuals trying to get his attention. He was composed, self-assured, and unconcerned. Videos of Crawford laughing at the rumors went viral very fast, igniting the debate. While some admirers hailed it as evidence of his mental fortitude, others questioned if the rumors had actually triggered a reaction. Canelo, meanwhile, had something of his own to say. Canelo addressed the rumors regarding Crawford's new bulked-up body in an attempt to combat hype.
I think it's good because we see him prepare himself really well, and you expect a really good fight. So
Canelo wasn't thrilled by the pictures that had already gone viral, which showed Crawford in the best physical condition of his career. Muscles are meaningless. It doesn't matter that I've fought bigger guys before. However, I was pleased to see that he had a solid training camp since I knew it would be a good fight. That sounded respectful on the surface. Don't be misled, though. There was a subtle jab hidden there. Canelo was reminding everyone that he has already battled giants, and that once Crawford enters the ring, no amount of strength will be able to save him.
Robert Diaz said that he thinks Bomac might throw the towel in to stop the fight.
oh, could be. In boxing, everything can happen, right?
You believe you knock him out?
Yeah. Why not?
It was Canelo in its prime. Cool, collected, and quietly sure that his knowledge and abilities will outweigh any fresh tactics Crawford may offer. As if it weren't enough, legendary boxers quickly began to comment. The fight is bigger than two guys when boxing royalty begins to weigh in. And the legends aren't holding back in this instance. To begin,
honestly, I feel like Canelo has he shows up when he wants to show up, but I think that Terence Crawford is a dog. I think that he's a great fighter. He has good defense, good offense. The weight class may be a little challenging, but I don't think it'll be the decision maker of the fight. I think that Terence Crawford is the better fighter.
Clarissa Shields, an unchallenged champion and two-time Olympic gold medalist. She has never been afraid to voice her opinions, and she didn't think twice when questioned about Crawford's prospects. Crawford's ability to dismantle opponents with both superior defense and explosive attack was praised by Shields, who referred to him as a hound. That kind of support, coming from someone who understands what it takes to dominate across divisions, is quite significant. However, it didn't end there.
With Terence Crawford, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I've not been against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat it.
Perhaps the most intriguing analysis to far came from Andre Ward, a highly regarded analyst and unbeaten former champion. Ward brought out an issue that casual viewers frequently ignore. Crawford hits with a switch. Canelo is therefore not training for a single opponent. In essence, he is getting ready for two. Crawford is capable of fighting either orthodox or southpaw, changing his rhythm and angles in mid-fight to put opponents off balance. Ward gave a straightforward explanation. Canelo needs to get ready for two combatants. Crawford only needs to get ready for one. At the highest level, that kind of tactical advantage can make all the difference. Ward, however, did not mince words either. He emphasized to supporters that Canelo is more than simply a rival. When the stakes are highest, this seasoned veteran gives it his all. Crawford shouldn't anticipate anything less than Canelo's performance in Vegas, Ward said. Not everyone, however, concurs. Despite tales supporting Crawford, there are just as many voices cautioning fans not to underestimate Canelo Alvarez as there are supporting Crawford.
And you know what? He's strong. I've actually sparred Crawford. I've sparred Crawford and I was walking around like 180. I was like, okay, like I'm just going to be chilling. I'm going to be able to move him around. And nah, bro, Crawford, I think he has like wrestling in his background or whatever.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And he's strong, bro. And he's just a real strong guy. So, it's going to be a great fight. I feel Crawford has the skills, right? But Canelo has the weight and he also has the experience.
For instance, Fernando Vargas. The former champion admires Crawford's cunning, ring smarts, and deft counterpunching. Vargas, however, doesn't think that will be sufficient when Canelo's strength begins to overpower his strategy. Crawford will eventually be worn out by Canelo's body blows and hefty combinations, and no amount of talent will be able to avert the inevitable.
We got a couple more days and y'all gonna see Canelo fight Crawford, so I ain't got no comment on who gonna win a fight. If Crawford do what he's supposed to do, he got an option. If he don't beat Canelo.
Jal Charlo, a boxer who has experienced what it's like to share the ring with Canelo, comes next. Crawford has a shot, Charlo acknowledged, but only if everything goes according to plan. He was direct in his remarks. Crawford has a shot if he fulfills his obligations. He doesn't defeat Canelo else. That's not exactly a good evaluation coming from someone who has already confronted Alvarez and failed. This division has sparked countless fan arguments. Social media serves as a battlefield. Crawford is referred to by his admirers as the more intelligent, shrewd warrior who will outsmart Canelo. Alvarez supporters, meanwhile, maintain that his strength and championship background are too much for anyone weighing 168 pounds. And
It's been good. It's been good. And this is the biggest fight in the last 10 years. This is the biggest fight for them. And they will be ready 100%, both of them.
even though there are differing views, one thing is certain. In addition to the stare-downs, taunts, and punches, this bout is a huge commercial endeavor. And the figures are astounding. The gate will be more than $50 million, the third largest in Las Vegas boxing history, according to organizers.
Rare in boxing we get that anymore, so I think it's great for the institution to have this at Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play with 55, 65, 70,000 people, however many show up. This is just a huge, huge event for boxing, so it's great to happen, and it's great that it's happening in Las Vegas where so many other big fights have taken place.
The only matches that have drawn more attention are Mayweather versus Pacquiao and Mayweather versus McGregor. This isn't simply another title fight. To put that into perspective, it's an international event. On fight night, an estimated 67,000 to 72,000 spectators are anticipated to fill Allegiant Stadium, making it one of the largest boxing crowds ever witnessed in the U.S. It's more than just hype. That is the beginning of history. And in Vegas, the build-up is everywhere. The city is ablaze with fight fever, from billboards illuminating the strip to the opening of a brand new goods store at the Fontainebleau. It attracts big rollers, celebrities, and casual fans from all over the world, and it feels less like a sporting event and more like a cultural phenomenon. Since the heyday of Mayweather's spectacular bouts, the level of anticipation has never been higher. This fight is about more than just belts, much like those spectacles. It's about a paycheck, legacy, and bragging rights that make both men legendary in the sport. It all boils down to September 13th, though. One night in Las Vegas that might change the course of boxing history. Two fighters, two legacies. Terence "Bud" Crawford, a man seeking immortality who has the potential to become a three-time undisputed monarch and a 5-division world champion, is on one side. a boxer who has already mastered all of the material at 140 and 147. He is now willing to take on the greatest challenge of his professional life.
You must return. Yeah.
Job ain't done yet.
Yeah.
But
Saturday, deliver the job.
But listen, I appreciate the opportunity.
No retirement.
Yeah.
Conversely, Canelo Alvarez is a world-renowned athlete with an impressive list of victories. A fighter who has previously established himself against larger men on numerous occasions and unified the super middleweight class. This isn't simply another battle for Canelo. He has the opportunity to silence skeptics and establish himself as the indisputable pound-for-pound king. One thing is absolutely evident following that intense face-off. It's more than simply a fight. It's a conflict. A fight for honor, tradition, and the right to be the only boxer at the top. And the entire world will be watching on September 13th when that bell finally sounds at Allegiant Stadium. Please share your opinions in the comments section below.